Joseph Jones, forget fouling, it's a 16-point lead for the first time ever. The Lakehead Thunderwolves are OUA champions.
At first glance, some might argue it was just one win. But for the Lakehead University basketball program, beating powerhouse Carleton in the Ontario Finals last year forever changed their culture and expectations.
It was a big accomplishment for us to win the Ontario Conference last year, but everyone in this gym right now and in our roster back home feels like we have what it takes to try and get to the national championship. And as long as there's teams like Carleton who have 7 or 8 national rings, we're going to enjoy ours, but make sure we keep our mind on the big prize.
Now in the stretch drive of the 2011-2012 season, the defending champions are so far living up to their own lofty goals, doing all they can to keep improving and move beyond their best finish in school history. And the national polls have taken notice. For the first time, Lakehead is ranked as the number 2 team in the country, trailing only undefeated Carleton. Through January, the T-Wolves had lost only 2 games, tied with Laurier for first in the OUA West.
Not one possession off. You work until we have the ball. All right, hey, let's go.
Of course, the turnaround of the Thunderwolves program did not happen without years of challenging roadblocks getting in the way. When Morrison first took over the program 9 years ago, he remembers the uphill battle it was, attempting to recruit athletes to a so-called hockey town isolated in northwestern Ontario.
It's been a battle for sure. I'm always grateful to the administration for giving me a chance to stay with it because it wasn't that good at the start. But it just goes to show that if you put your mind to something and keep trying and keep working and not get discouraged with a little bit of failure, that you can bring people around. The last couple seasons we finished ranked ahead of the hockey team, which is something that we never would have thought would be possible when I first got the job. The games last year, just being on the score, the amount of difference that's made in recruiting is immeasurable. Over the last 3 years, when I call a recruit, now they not only know where Lakehead is, they've seen us play, they know we've beaten some good teams, they know some of our players, whereas before I had to send them a map, Google map, to figure out where Thunder Bay actually was.
Morrison says the program's fortunes really changed in 2008 when he was able to recruit both Greg Carter and power forward Yusri Salia. Carter was one of the top point guards in the country at the time, and being from Ottawa, Carleton, among other schools, recruited him hard. But ultimately, he and Salia, who hails from Toronto, committed to Coach Morrison and committed to turning things around in Thunder Bay.
I felt that when we came here, Scott Morrison said that if we stuck to the game plan and made some sacrifices on and off the court, that our team was going to be successful. And now it's starting to pay off.
When me and Greg came in, we knew the team was struggling a bit, but Coach told us he's going to start rebuilding with me and Greg. And he said we were going to get some new pieces coming in, and so we were confident we were going to build the program up, and that's what we did.
Greg, you were coming off a win at OFSA. Carleton was recruiting you. Was that just the easy choice for you, and that's why maybe you took the harder road to go to Lakehead?
I think it was a hard route for me, actually. A lot of people were second-guessing me for making this decision. Everyone was like, why wouldn't you go to the number 1 ranked team? And I was just like, I felt more comfortable with Scott Morrison and the guys that, like Yusri and a few other guys that I knew that were going to come in. So I think I made the right decision in the long run.
Carter and Salia didn't know each other at all before committing to play at Lakehead, but these days the two, roommates for the past 4 years, have become best friends and have grown to love the atmosphere and small-town feel that Lakehead offers. The team regularly volunteers their time in the community, which is a big part of what Morrison wants his student-athletes to experience.
I like doing it just to help people. I'm a caring kind of guy. I know that if I see someone struggling, and then if I was struggling, I would want someone else to pick me up. So I think that's it's really important to do.
You got to support the community, especially in Thunder Bay. I feel that it's a different experience from anywhere else. Probably in the CIS, the community is so behind you, and you got to give back to them when they have your back like that.
We definitely depend on community support to be successful, so it'd be pretty hypocritical for us to ask for the support and then not give back where we can. But at the same time, with our players, there's no better learning experience than going in and making a meal to serve to 150, 200 people that can't afford their own meals. And it's easy for our guys to complain like anybody. And when we go into a situation like that, I find that guys start to appreciate what they have, and it also brings them closer together as a unit because they feel that together they're making a difference, and that's a good team bonding experience.
For a program that 5 seasons ago owned a 1-21 record, the Thunderwolves have come a long way. But despite their recent success, Morrison says the journey is far from over.
Maybe when I retire, I'll be happy with what we did here for the first 9 years. But there's another quote that I like to live by, and that's if you're still thinking about what you did yesterday, you haven't done much today. And we're trying to make big things happen today, so we're keeping looking forward.
Can the Lakehead University Thunderwolves repeat as Ontario champions? You'll have to tune in to find out when the OUA Final Four airs for the second straight year on the Score Television Network, your #1 source for hoops in Canada. It all goes down March 2nd and 3rd from the University of Waterloo.